While I have a quiet house, I'll take advantage. I'm Jenny. Hello. This is my beautiful baritone ukulele. And I thought I would maybe tell a little story so you can get to know me. Since I've been posting for a little bit now, just not very long, but just a little bit. So, about music. I grew up in a musical family. When I was a very, very little kid, we lived in Oklahoma. And I used to watch my dad play his music all the time. He was a very accomplished saxophone player slash flute player slash pretty much could play anything. And he would take me to my kindergarten, which was half a day. And I would be in kindergarten for half a day. And then he would take me to his studio. And I got to be in the studio and I would watch him recording with his band. And I used to love it. I mean, he'd sit me there with a coloring book or whatever, but I was so fascinated by the little red dots that were on the machine. Machines were really, really cool looking. And I remember watching the dots and watching how they did their thing, and it was just really, really cool to me. And at home, my favorite toy was my jump rope. Not for jumping rope, but for pretending like I had a microphone. And I loved Olivia Newton-John, and I'm about to show my age. Olivia Newton-John had come out with her country stuff way back in her beginning days. And I wanted to be Olivia Newton-John. I mean, I wanted the blonde hair. I wanted the whole package. I wanted to be Olivia Newton-John. I wanted the voice. I wanted the writing, everything. And they had a little, my mom and dad, well, mainly my dad, had this little black electric Wurlitzer piano. And we were, it was one of those things that's not a toy, don't touch it. Guess who touched it all the time? Never really learned to play it quite right. But I used to pick out little songs. I used to pick out with my two fingers, I picked out Mary Had a Little Lamb, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and my biggest hit was actually You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone. I picked that out when I was a little kid. And I come up with songs. I wrote songs. I don't know why I wrote the kind of songs I did, but I wrote songs that were kind of on the scale of morbid because my mother told me they were morbid. I remember going to her and saying, I made up a song and it was about life and death. And I'm like 5 years old. And she's like, oh my goodness, that's morbid. And I found out what the word morbid was. I found out it must not be a very good word. So in my teenage years, I struggled a lot and I never felt like I fit in with anybody. I had friends, yes. I had a very close knit bunch of friends that lived in my neighborhood for a long time. Used to do fun stuff like go outside and play all day, stuff like you did back in the 70s and 80s. And, watch MTV, listen to the radio, never thought about music during those days. I did have, however, in one of my classes, I had a poem that I wrote. This boy that I had gone with. I had broken up with him. And of course, that was my fault that I broke up with him. But I broke up with him because I liked him too much, which was really crazy. I don't know why there was that situation. And I missed him, and I wrote a poem, and I secretly wanted him to find it. And I thought maybe he'd ask me back out. I was in junior high then. And want me back because, oh my gosh, someone who would speak so beautifully about me, such beautiful words, you know. Well, someone found the poem, gave it to him, and I was the laughing stock. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And I didn't write for a long time after that. And as a matter of fact, I never shared my poetry again until I got married. And I married a musician, and he did appreciate my poetry, but he didn't appreciate lyrics. He was a keyboard player, piano player, and he did not like lyrics. He actually didn't like lyrics. And so I used to pull myself up in one of our extra rooms, and I would sing. He bought me a karaoke machine, and I would sit there and I would sing into the karaoke machine and painstakingly learn all these songs and teach myself to sing. And then we started going to real karaoke, like in a local bar, and I started singing out there. And I never was one of the best ones, and I was really, really self-conscious. But I did. I sang. And then my daughter was born. And when my daughter was born, I'm looking for my capo. I don't see it. When my daughter was born, we still went out, and I immersed her in music. I took her into my secret rooms that I sang in. My secret rooms that I sang in. And she learned, she grew up with like Stevie Nicks, and because Stevie Nicks was my favorite. Fleetwood Mac, I loved Fleetwood Mac. And we would sit there and I would sing Fleetwood Mac songs with her, and she got to know all these songs. And then one day we're driving and I hear her in the back seat, and she's like about 18 months old, and I hear, just like a one-winged dove. And I thought it was just the cutest thing, because actually that's what I thought for a long time too, but she totally, that's what she thought it was, and I just thought it was the cutest thing. Well, anyway, my marriage didn't work out. So I spent most of my time working, trying to keep us afloat, me and my daughter, and put music, poetry, all of it on a back burner. And then went to some concerts. That was some of our favorite things that we did when she was little, or when she was about 16, 15, actually. We started going to rock concerts around locally. And our first concert was Boston, and it was wonderful. And then after she grew up, I lived for a short time in Jacksonville with somebody that, a man, boyfriend, who was not very nice, let's just put it that way. And then my father died. And a week before he passed away, We had our in my opinion, the most important conversation that I've ever had with him. He told me that I need to sing and that I need to write. And he told me I was talented, and I never believed that before he told me these things. Even when sometimes people would tell me that I was. And that was absolutely a promise I had to make to him. I mean, a man says something on your deathbed, your father, he says something, tells you to do something on his deathbed, and you make that promise, you keep it. So I've kept it. I've learned, well, for a while, I had a poetry page that was started just a few months after he passed. It was called Jenny Blues Stories and Songs, and it was on Facebook, and was pretty successful. I had 2,500 followers, and I belonged to all these poetry groups, and I won some of them, some of the poetry contests. And for the first time in my life, I really felt like there was something I could do. There's something I'm good at. And I went from there to starting to really teach myself how to sing. I took guitar lessons, but they didn't go very far because I don't think I was ready for them. Which reminds me, if you don't think you're ready for guitar, if you have tiny, tiny fingers that don't want to go very far at all, get show something like this. This is a baritone ukulele. Now there's littler ukuleles too. You can try those. I'm not adept at those, but I do want to try them too really bad. And guitar, of course. I have guitars. I have, I think, eight stringed instruments that I have to learn, and I'm going to take you on that journey with me. But anyway, the baritone ukulele is what I'm best at. So I got my baritone. Someone suggested to me, your fingers are small, why don't you get a baritone ukulele? And so I did. And I've never regretted it because I put my talents of writing and singing and began to learn how to play. And I just taught myself. I didn't have ukulele lessons. I pretty much taught myself. I learned a few chords. Well, I learned a lot of chords online. And then just took a little bit of the tiny bit that I learned in my guitar lessons and applied it. Next thing you know, I was playing baritone and I was writing songs, which was, to me, this is a huge, huge milestone. And I've written, I don't know how many songs, but I've written a lot of songs. And some of them are on here. And when my dad passed the week before, when I told you he had passed, one of the things he told me, I told him, nobody wants to hear me sing. And he said, sing anyway. And I said, all I can really do is karaoke. And he goes, then do karaoke. So what do you think I did after he passed away? I found online a karaoke app called Smule, which didn't last as long as I would have liked it to. So I changed to a different karaoke app called Star Maker for the express purpose of writing my songs, and teaching myself to sing. And then when he said for me to write, I said, no one wants to read what I write. And then he goes, doesn't matter, do it for yourself. You deserve to be happy. And I thought, yes, I do. I deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. This makes me happy. Writing songs and singing. I have a little duo right now. It's me and a keyboard player. And we're called The Vibe. And I'm the singer and he's the keyboard player. And that's making me happy. I'm writing songs. That's making me happy. I collaborate with other people. I've written songs. that makes me happy. Nothing makes me happier than music. And that's why I want to take you on this musical journey with me, because it's so special to me. I just want to share it. I want to share the love, and I hope you feel the joy through the screen. And that is why I want to do this, to express my joy and to put it out there. And hopefully the energy of the joy that I feel when I do this is going to hit you and make you feel joy, because it doesn't matter. You can do that at any age. You can pick up a musical instrument and start working, and you don't have to take expensive lessons, because YouTube has tons and tons of tutorial videos out there, and you don't have to wreck the bank. Even if you just have one musical instrument, that's good too. Now I have several because I have a strong interest in stringed instruments, so I finally got the money together and I bought a whole bunch of musical instruments. And my next one I want to have is a tenor ukulele. I've been watching this video of this girl. You may have heard of her, and you may have seen her. Her name's Elisa Eklund. She's gotten famous on YouTube, and she's a ukulele player, and she's a wonderful, wonderful ukulele player. And she's got a signature ukulele, and it's by a company called Flight, and it's just the most beautiful thing. I mean, it's just, the art on it's just lovely, and I would love to have that one of these days. I'm hoping they make a tenor like that, because I really kind of do want a tenor. I have a soprano, but it's hard for me to hold. It's, for some reason, I know you're supposed to hold a ukulele, you know, like this, and it's just, for me, it's awkward. I'm small, but I'm not that small. I've gained a lot of weight, to be honest, but I don't know. It was just something so relaxing for me about just sitting my berry on my lap and just going at it, you know? Just having fun with it. Whether it's anything, whether anybody hears me, I just love strings instruments, and I love this one. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. All I wanted to do was give you a sense of who I am, since I've been posting videos on YouTube and haven't really been very transparent yet. But this is me. I live in Florida. I live near the beach, and I will be posting probably many videos now in the future from the beach. So if you stick with me, we're gonna learn a lot. I'm gonna teach you the limited knowledge that I have of baritone ukulele. I'm gonna teach you the joys of songwriting and how to really write a great song. From my perspective, I'm gonna share mine with you. I'm going to show you where I am on guitar, which isn't really where I want to be yet, but you're gonna struggle with me, right? You'll watch my struggles. And I may even go back to my keyboard. So that's it on me. I spent most of my childhood in Oklahoma, and we moved to Florida my senior year, and I've lived here now for a long time. I'm 55 years old, so I have lived here a long time, since I just moved here when I was, when did I move to Florida? I was 17 years old, yeah. So I'm pretty much a Floridian now, but anyway, we're gonna have fun, so I promise you. So please like and subscribe. Almost prescribe, yeah. Like and I almost said it again. Please like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And share. That would be great if you would share. And I look forward to next time I get to talk to you. This is really fun for me, and it's very enjoyable. Maybe even healing in a way. Thank you so much. I'm thrilled with this opportunity. Have a great day.